This week, Mad Mumzie and her lovely offsider headed to the Queensland Mining Expo held at the Mackay Showgrounds. We wanted to share the Biz with a Miner podcast to Expo attendees, and were lucky enough to be invited along as media. We got cool badges and all. Listen in as we chat to a few peeps who were exhibiting at the expo. They were also sharing their special messages and products. I hope they enjoyed a refreshing change from radio, TV and politicians interviewing them. I bet none of those asked what is their favourite drink and what do they do personally to refresh and renew when life turns to crap. My offsider even had a go on a truck simulator with a fire tyre and all. I must say, she also nearly fell off the seat when she ran into the bund. It turns out she did not realise they were left-hand drive and so damn big. Be sure to head to madmumzie.com/bonus1, that's the number 1, to see videos and pictures of the day. Now let's dig in. Get it? Dig. Mining. It cracked me up. Here we are at the Queensland Mining Expo in Mackay, and I would like to welcome to the Biz with a Miner podcast Expo Director Robbie Clark.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
That's good.
This place is looking really good. There's a lot of people around coming in. We're official media, pretty special, so we got to come in a little bit earlier.
Red carpet.
Yeah, red carpet treatment. I'm enjoying that. I can get used to that. The showgrounds are looking really good at the moment. There's been a lot of work done. Has that helped the way that you can showcase our mining industry by having a better facility here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having a better showgrounds is fantastic for us. I mean, we put an event on. We want the event to look at best it possibly can. So, any upgrades to any venue, including the showgrounds, are really good for us. So, we're really pleased to be here. We've had fantastic weather, which has been great, and makes our lives so much easier. And people want to come out, which is great. So, we're really pleased to be here at the Mackay Showgrounds.
That's right. It is another perfect sunshiny Queensland day.
Oh, wonderful
Rub
day.
it into those southerners. Another reason to come and stay in Mackay.
Yes, exactly.
And what are you most excited about at this year's expo?
Well, it's hard to think of just one or two things, but look, we've got some fantastic displays here this year. We've got some very mining specific exhibitors here. We have Flexco, Endress and Hauser. People who are providing technical solutions to the mining industry, and then we have some really exciting things like Holden and Ford that are releasing brand new vehicles, and Holden in particular have got a concept car that they've actually brought out from Bangkok, worth over $1 million. It's just absolutely incredible.
I saw that
that's
on the
on
news
display.
Last night.
Yeah,
it's pretty orange colour.
Yeah,
Mad Mumzie colours.
Mad Mumzie colours, exactly. So so there's lots of things to see out here. BHP Billiton have actually brought a simulator out here. Which is
Zoe on a simulator.
You should you should have a crack at that today as well. So that's just in the outside area out there. So there's lots of things for people to see and come and do, and most importantly is just to try and get the mining industry out here to QME. I mean, it's a really tough time obviously for the mining industry, so if anyone can support the event, that'd be great. That's
right. It is tough times at the moment, and have you noticed that in the amount of exhibitors that you have this year? I have heard that it's down a little bit, but look, it is down. I mean, you'll see when you wander through. We got about 200 odd exhibitors this year, and the last time we ran the event, we had about double that, so we had about 400 odd. But I guess the 200 odd exhibitors that are here, they're here to do business and put their best foot forward in this market. Yesterday we had over 1,400 odd people come through the doors, visitors. Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Again, it's down on the 2014 attendance, but that's a lot of people in quite a depressed market. So we anticipate we'll end up with sort of 3,500 to 4,000 odd visitors over the 3 days, and based on day one, that's probably the trajectory that we're on, and we're really pleased with that. That's a great outcome in this current market, to get that many people coming in here and talking to our exhibitors and suppliers and looking for innovations and technology in the mining industry.
In 2014, a lot has changed since then, let's face it.
It has, yeah.
In the world, not just in mining, the whole world,
yeah.
it's changed. So.
Absolutely.
And times can get pretty tough. There's a lot of people out there struggling for many reasons. Mining downturn, less wages, less work around.
Yeah.
A big part of what Mad Mumzie does is trying to help those living a mining lifestyle and their families as well, how we can cope, and anyone really, don't have to be in mining to get a few life lessons.
Yeah,
how
so
do we
true.
get through the crap that gets thrown at us?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you personally handle when things are getting tough for you? I'm sure you're under a lot of pressure. Right now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, part of my responsibility is I'm the manager for our mining portfolio, and that's a tough time to be doing that. So I organise with the QME. Obviously, we also organise AMEX, our Asia Pacific International Mining Exhibition, which is in Sydney next year. And in both cases, the events have shrunk somewhat due to market conditions. So yeah, how do I handle the stress? Well, best thing is I've got a great team around me. So and we all lean on each other quite heavily. I've got a mixture of new, fresh blood and some people that have been doing this for a long time. And we take all those skills on board, and we prop each other up, and we get on with it. We try our hardest to manage expectations, which is the key thing. It's of our customers, our exhibitors, and also our visitors, so that they know what they think they're going to see when they come along. So
you have a good team around you.
Yeah, it's a fantastic team.
What about personally for Robbie? Do you go surfing?
Oh, right.
Do you get out of your boat? Do you go to the footy and scream at the rest?
Yeah, I do all of that. Yeah. I'm a rugby supporter, so I go off my local team. I don't know if I should mention it's not Queensland. I'm actually a Manly supporter.
Oh, that's it.
I know, cancel it. I support them, and I enjoy a bit of boating as well. I've got a little tinny that I go fishing out on out in the harbour, and so it's nice.
We just heard on the news on the way in that there's a heap of whales off Lambert's Beach right now.
Really? Oh wow!
I really would
love
have
to see that.
Yeah. I chose to come and
you chose to come here. Very wise.
In closing, Robbie, the podcast is called Beers with the Miner, and I actually usually do sit down, have a beer.
It's a bit early though.
Yeah, 9 o'clock I mean, not even in Western Australian time. So a question that I do ask all of my guests is, what is your favourite beverage? It could be a beer, a wine, spirit, or even a cup of tea. And how do you like to enjoy it the most?
I like a red wine. I'm a red wine drinker, yeah, that's my favourite thing, so I'll enjoy a beer for sure, but I move on to the red wine after just a couple, that and a steak at night, I'm very happy with that.
Oh, with a steak, that's beautiful.
Happy days.
Do you have a favourite winery?
Too many to list, I think. I'm quite particular to South Australian wines.
Forgive you for the Manly.
There you go.
I'm from South Australia.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Cabernet Sauvignons are my favourite from South Australia. Would probably be my favourite, my pick.
A Cab Sav from the Barossa Valley.
What
a perfect way to end our interview. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Have a great day.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Here we are. Well, they'll know by now that we're at the Queensland Mining Expo. We found hopefully a nice quiet little spot to sit down and have a chat with Alicia Ranford from Mining Family Matters. Welcome to the Beers with a Miner podcast.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
It is very exciting. I saw you in your pink shirts and...
Oh, aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they gorgeous? Pink high vis. Nothing better.
Pink high vis, that's right. I've asked who I work for, can we please have pink, us ladies? A lot of them just wear them anyway.
Yeah.
Without the logo on there of who we're working for. So, they're really bright too.
Oh,
better than... I've got one that's a bit wishy-washy. I wish
lovely.
I'd got that bright pink one.
No, it's gorgeous and it's so comfortable, and when you've done with it, it makes great gardening clothes.
Yeah. So that answers the question, what do you do with your old PPE?
I wear my husband's old PPE all the time.
You do?
Love it. And my son is now growing into it as well. So we're getting, 3 hand-me-downs through his old PPE, and by the time my son gets it, it's that lovely smooth, all the crispiness has gone out of it. It's that lovely smooth, comfortable work shirts. It's magic.
Yeah, that's right. How old's your son?
He's 12.
12.
Yes.
Oh, does he want to be a miner when he grows up?
Yes, at the moment he wants to be a skateboarding mining engineer. So we'll see what the need is for that.
My grandson moved from the coast up here up to Mackay, and all he wanted to be was a digger driver. I want to be a digger driver. And then he wanted to be a cane tractor driver.
Fantastic.
I said, there's not as much money in that, boy, as there is in mining. He goes, I said, how about if you be a cane farmer and work towards that? Like, you can have lots of money and hoon around in a tractor for a while. I said, because you'll soon get sick of that.
Yes.
And then he goes, and then I'll go drive my digger. And now he's moved down to Brisbane. Goodness knows what he wants to be now. That's right, professional scooter rider, because they've got this awesome scootering park thing that he goes to.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, the world is they're only limited by their imagination,
That's
aren't they?
right.
Now, which is wonderful.
Yeah. So I noticed above you've got a stand here. What do they call it?
Oh,
an exhibit.
An exhibit, yes.
You're an
exhibition
exhibitor?
stand. We are an exhibitor. Yes, Reed sponsor us to come up to the expo.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do,
Awesome.
because they really value the work that we're doing within the industry, and they want to be able to celebrate the fact that mining's more than just trucks and nuts and bolts, and that there's people behind it, and that they're really important that we look after their mental health and well-being and their families, and so everyone can make the most out of what is a fantastic industry.
Yes. Wow, that's awesome. Good on you, Reed. I didn't know that.
They're great. They've been supporting supporters of ours for almost 6 years now. So they came on board when we were, just in our infancy and really new, and no one really knew about us, and we were just trying to get the word out there. And it's been amazing. It's been a great relationship we've had with them.
That's fantastic. Now, we won't go too deep into your personal story because newsflash. Alicia is going to come on the Beers with a Miner podcast, one of our happy hour episodes, where we can sit down.
Gorgeous.
Probably on Skype.
Sure.
Beer o'clock.
Fantastic.
Because that's how we roll.
Nice.
Beers with a Miner, sit down, whatever your favourite beverage is.
Yes.
You can have a cup of tea if you want, but I'll be having
I'm
a
a
beer.
champagne girl. Am I allowed to say that?
Absolutely. Look, it's actually written down. It's one of the questions. What is your favourite beverage?
Yeah, I'm a champagne girl.
Champagne girl?
Yeah, lovely.
And where do you like to have your champagne?
Oh, in my kitchen.
I
love my kitchen. It's one of my favourite places in my house. Overlooks our backyard now, 100-year-old oak tree, and I love it. Open to champagne. We live in Adelaide, so we have some of the most amazing
Adelaide
grape growers.
connection.
Yeah, some of the most amazing grape growers. Yep.
Barossa Valley.
Oh, see, I'm a Qld Wines girl. See, probably never heard of it. Look it up.
Qld
Wines.
I'll add links to that in the show notes.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful champagne. You can get it online. Some lovely reds. Nice Pinot. Yes.
So where is that's obviously in South Australia?
Yeah, that's in Lobethal.
Lobethal. I know Lobethal.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, nice, because Robbie Clark, the director, he was a cab sav Barossa Valley.
Nice. Yes.
I
I mean, we have got McLaren Vale, Clare Valley, Barossa Valley, Adelaide Hills. You turn left, right, or go straight ahead, and you bump into a winery. So we're pretty lucky.
My mum her second marriage was in a winery. I think
gorgeous.
It might be McLaren Vale.
Beautiful.
I'll find out.
Beautiful.
I'll put. Actually, I'll ask her if I can put photos on. You can see the lovely pink dress she made me wear.
Oh, good Lord.
Anyway, let's get back to mining family matters.
Yes.
Just briefly, as I say, because we're going to go in deep. Tell us about what service you offer to the mining people.
So we offer professional, proactive support for miners and their families in all of the resources industry. So basically what we do is we have 2 psychologists and we have a team of writers that write about everyday issues for families in the resources sector. So we have a free Q&A service where people can write into our psychologists and they get a written response within 7 days, and it's all free.
Wow,
and we have over
good.
1,000 pages of content online that's all free and accessible. And people write in about the most incredible things, whether it be that their kids are struggling with dad being away on the mine site, or a mum who's struggling because of the stigma that she's the main breadwinner and she's left her children to do fly in, fly out. So we have a huge range of things people talk about, and sometimes people just ring up and say, have you ever lived in Mackay? And could you tell me if it's a great place to live? And we say, absolutely, it's sunny and beautiful. So, it's a huge range. And we also have publications that we sell to mining companies to support their workforce. We have a survival guide for mining families, and it's a 32-page guide packed with the most requested information off of our website. So it's a great read.
Oh, and you've been going for 6 years?
6.5 years. So we launched in February 2010.
Wow.
And we had no idea where it would take us, and here we are in Mackay.
Wow. Bit like Mad Mumzie.
Absolutely.
Just jump out there and see where it goes.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and enjoy the ride. So you have come up from Adelaide up to Mackay?
That's right, thank goodness, because it was 4 degrees when I left, and we've had hail and rainstorms like you would not believe.
Yes, and trees down.
All over the place.
Yeah.
My business partner Lainey, her husband rang last night, and they've had a massive tree go down, smash their fence.
No.
The local football club's change rooms are underwater, like massive storms.
Oh, and here you are.
I know. I keep sending Snapchats home.
Yeah.
This is what sun looks like.
Got up this morning and I saw a cloud on the way down.
Like, what's that?
Oh, a cloud. And Zoe said, no. I said, no, it's not rain. And then we realised I think it was fog that was lifting.
Oh, bless.
So look at it. Beautiful blue skies.
We're very happy.
Yeah, just lovely. I'll just ask you this in closing.
Yes.
Like I say, we'll save some other
Nitty gritty.
I was going to say the good bits, but these were good bits. We'll dig in deep, which I like to say.
Perfect.
Get it? Mining.
Get it. You're hilarious.
Dig. Oh, no, I crack me up. Now, what was I going to ask you?
I have no idea.
Lucky I wrote these things down. Yes. So, we all get stressed at times. And I know you hear, as we were just talking about, a lot of people that are dealing with stress. What about you personally, Alicia? What do you do to help you cope when life turns to crap?
Okay.
Other than
Very
drink
simple.
champagne.
Yeah. I put down my champagne because I have to say, in good conscience, that does not help.
No.
1 glass, yes. 5 glasses, no. Do you know what I do? I look after, I turn to my mates, and I turn to my husband, and I turn to my family. And I think that if there is any message that I could put out there ever for anybody, it would be that you are never alone. You are never the only person that is going through a crap time, and you are never the only person that finds a part of their day frustrating. So if you talk to your friends, and if you communicate openly with the people that love you, it's corny, but it's true. A problem shared is a problem halved. Yeah. So it's about communication. Talk to someone, and we're really lucky now that we've got all resources online. So
that's right.
there are people can help you. But if it is just a bad day and stressful day, ring a mate. Be honest.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I must admit, I couldn't do what I do if I didn't have my mates and my family. My husband's so supportive. Ooh, there we go.
Tinder.
So I would say that if I'm stressed, I talk to someone about it.
Yeah. I'll just ask, have you heard of podcasting?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you listen?
Not very often, I have to tell you. I
Why
think
not?
it's something I've got to venture into. Yeah.
I feel like it's really, in the last couple of weeks, it's becoming part of who Mad Mumzie is to get the podcasting word out as well. Because new cars now are coming out with podcasts as an option in your stereo. That's how massive podcasting is becoming.
That's amazing.
It is.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
I really need a new car now.
Yeah.
Don't tell my car though, because she's hanging in there.
Oh,
350,000 Ks.
I love it.
Go the Holden.
I love it. Holdens, they never die. Never truly die.
Not truly.
Well, I tell you what, I will look more into podcasts, and so will you be able to ask me next time when we do dig deep?
Yes.
If I'm listening to any podcasts, and I'll be able to tell you what I listen to.
Yes.
Of course, it will be Mad Mumzie.
Beers with a Miner.
We will put it on Facebook. We'll let people know that you're here because this is great. It's fantastic to hear people's stories and what they're doing, and that's what our readers love, because we have a lot of personal stories on our website, and readers love that. They want to know what everyone else is doing out there. Yeah. What's good, what's bad, what's ugly. They want to know.
That's it, and so do I. And that's what I'm finding, that a lot of people also don't realise just what is out there. So that's why I'm sharing
people like yourself,
Great.
and Mining Family Matters. And I had a lady reached out to me and sent me her book.
Oh, great.
So I've read her. I've done that interview. That's Kirsty O'Callaghan, Separated by Work.
Fantastic.
And there's some great people out there doing good work.
It is, and it's a great industry. I know it's in a bit of a slump at the moment, but I've got all the confidence that it's going to pick back up.
Yeah.
And, we've got to stick together.
Yeah, help each other through it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. And
Excellent.
thank you.
Such a pleasure. So nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. And please come back by the stand.
We will. And we're at the Mining Expo, we're at the BMA exhibit, it's there at the stand, and I am talking today with Paul Barnard. Barney,
yep.
We're going to say Barney. And Barney is with the Leukemia Foundation, and you organise and promote the Mining Energy Challenge. Can you tell us all about that, please?
Yes, absolutely. Our biggest fundraiser for the year is the World's Greatest Shave. So I'm responsible for taking the World's Greatest Shave out to the mining and energy sector.
Yep.
And we call it the Mining and Energy Challenge. So they've taken complete ownership of that over the last 11 years and have been wonderfully supportive to us in their local communities where they work. So that's what we do. Once a patient is diagnosed, it doesn't matter where they are in Queensland, they have to go to either Brisbane or Townsville to get their treatments. Yeah. So we provide free accommodation and support services it doesn't matter where they come from. That's what we do. So that takes a huge worry off their mind, because they can be with us anywhere between 8 months and 2 years.
Wow.
So it's a huge worry off their mind, so they can concentrate on their treatments. And we provide family accommodation, so they can bring their family with them. The only rule we have is you must have a carer, because we're not there 24/7 in the villages. Yeah. So that's the only rule we have. We don't look at your assets or anything like that. It's just, if you need our assistance, we're here for you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. How long have you been doing it?
11 years in December.
11
years. Yep. Yeah, it's amazing. I thought 1 or 2. Once I get it organised, that'll be it. But I've thoroughly enjoyed what I do, and it's very rewarding. So I love doing what I do. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Do you find that because it has been around quite a while, you still get the support? Are you finding more support, or some years are better than others?
Yeah, the last 3 years has been very challenging in the mining industry, as we all know. Yeah. Okay, so my past is the mining sector, so I know from first hand. I had 32 years in the industry myself, so I know what they're going through. Yeah. This is the longest one I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, so the longest
downturn. Yeah. It's very challenging, and obviously that does affect the fundraising, but the support is still there. There's no doubt about that.
From the big companies.
The support is still there. Yep. The problem is getting someone with some time to help organise it on the sites. That's the problem, and I can understand that. Yeah. So I continue the engagement for the time when the industry does pick up again, because we all know it will.
It will. And look out, we'll be ready.
Yep. and we'll be front of mind, and so we stuck with you during those hard times, and they'll stick with us. Yeah. So that's what it's all about: engagement and doing what we can.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Because we still get 35 people diagnosed every day in Australia, so we've got to keep going. That's challenging for us.
That's what I was going to say. Sadly, it's been needed for 11 years.
Totally.
And it's not going to stop.
No, it's not.
No.
And actually it's getting worse. And I'm not saying that blood cancer is increasing, it's just that the Australian population is increasing, so ergo things go up. Yeah. So 35 people a day at the moment.
Wow.
And unfortunately we're losing a patient every 2 hours passing away from blood cancer in Australia. Wow. Terrible statistics.
Yeah.
The only good thing is that because of our research dollars that we've put in ploughing in, children are actually going to remission at the rate of 80 to 85%. But that is amazing, but we're unfortunately still losing 2 kids out of every 10.
Yeah.
But with adults, it's still only 40% remission. Right. So we're losing 6 adults out of every 10. So we still need
a heap more
research. It's getting really exciting times, it really is, in research. you hear every day that there's something has just had a breakthrough, and hey, this is good. I'll do myself out of a job yet.
Yeah, good. That's a nice goal to have, isn't it?
It is. I'm going for it.
Because
I'm going for it.
is no more.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that would be awesome, Barney.
Totally.
So what? We won't go too deep into your personal story because
right.
you're going to come on our podcast.
Yep.
Beers with a Miner.
Yes.
And we have happy hour episodes where we actually sit down, have a beer, you can have a cup of tea if you want. You don't have to have a beer. Usually I will. And we catch up and dig deeper, and I call them a happy hour. They don't have to go for an hour, but I like to not have to say, right, that's it, time's up, we've got to go, when we're just starting to get to know you. And the beauty of podcasting is that you can hit pause at any time and just listen later.
Yeah.
Driving, gardening, walking. It's not like a video. You don't just sit down and have to watch it, or a blog post that you have to read.
Yeah.
You can just listen.
Yeah.
I'm usually listening to a podcast anytime I'm not with a person.
Yeah.
Watering the garden.
I think we'll be a good match because I can talk the leg off an iron pot as well.
Look
So
we might be going long.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So I do have two questions today that
Sure.
I'm asking everyone I interview.
Yep.
We all get stressed and face many challenges in life at times.
Yep.
What do you do personally, Barney, that helps you get through those tough times when life turns crap? How do you recharge your batteries so that you can then go on and help others?
I've found over the years that talking, you've got to get it out of your system. You've got to talk to somebody, whether that be your partner or whether it be someone that you trust at work. We've got a fantastic CEO with an open door policy. I can just walk into his office whenever I want, and I can sit down and say, "Look, this is worrying me. This isn't working. That's not working. I'm going to try this. What do you think?" I think that's the answer. You can't let it stew inside you because it just gets so bad. You've got to get it out. Yeah. And I know men particularly are pretty hard to. And I was that way for a very long time. Yes. But I've come to terms with, hey, if you need help, ask for it.
That's a big part of Mad Mumzie's message too. Yeah. Is so many people are struggling. Yeah. And just get the help. Yeah. And find out what it is, and that personally yourself. Yes, talking and everything. That's really good. But do you like to go and play golf? Or take the dog for a walk, or get into the garden, or watch the footy and yell at the ref?
Definitely do that.
You've got to do that.
State of origin, right.
That's a good way to get...
What happened with that New South Wales, the last third game? I can't believe that. Anyway.
God, yeah, we let them get one.
It was nice that they still had the temperament to, continue playing for the whole of the second half. That was wonderful.
It would have been nice if they had the temperament to stay and watch the presentation, but we
true.
won't go there.
No,
we are in Queensland after all.
No, because Queensland are a team of their own. I mean, there's no match for that.
They've got their mindset right.
Exactly.
Yeah. If we could all have a little bit of that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've forgotten your question.
That's how Mad Mumzie rolls. See, that's why we need 2 hour chat. Yeah.
It's gone to 2 hours now.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be with you, Barney. No, the question was, what do you do personally?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
other than yell at
I've got two really, truly good friends. And now, I don't know whether you've heard my definition of a friend. It was actually said to me once about 40 years ago. And they said, Barney, the definition... I was having problems, and I was just talking to my next door neighbour, and she said to me, Barney, you know what the definition of a friend is, don't you? And I said, no, I don't. She said, it's someone who knows exactly what you're like and likes you anyway. I've never forgotten that.
That's great.
I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
So I have two really good friends from the mining sector that we've never ever lost contact, and it's just, we may not see each other for 18 months, 2 years. The next time we next time I see them, it's like I saw them yesterday.
Yes.
It's that sort of relationship, and that helps me immensely to be able to sit down and be totally honest with people who know that whatever I say to them, they're not going to ridicule me, or they probably will have a bit of a go at me, but I know,
and that's okay.
and that's good, and that's okay,
right.
and you need that sometimes to get yourself, well, geez, what the hell have I been worried about? You know, it's not really that bad.
Yeah,
you know?
Guts on the table.
Exactly,
kind of time,
exactly. And we sit down over a red wine, and you know, I like my red wine.
That's my next question. Oh, you're a natural at this, I tell you. That's my next question.
Well,
what's your favourite beverage?
Well, red wine
Red
is
wine.
my poison of choice.
And the best place to enjoy it?
With someone else.
Yeah.
And particularly with someone that you get on really well with,
Yeah.
and you can sit down and have a great chat.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, obviously there's got to be at least 2 bottles.
At
If
least
you,
two
if,
bottles.
Well, if there's 2 of you, there's got to be at least 2 bottles,
That's right, 'cause a
plus
glass
some
and
in
a half
reserve.
isn't
No, that's only for Nescab. No, what is it? Cadbury chocolate.
Yeah, that's...
No. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to give an ad for Cadbury.
No, that's all right. I can edit it out. What is your favourite winery?
Favourite winery would be in South Australia, Peter Lehmann's.
What is it with South Australia today? We're from South Australia as
well. I'm a cab sav person,
Yes.
right? And in 1997 they made the best cab sav I've ever tasted in my life, and I've tried a lot of cab savs. The only one that went even close to it was, believe it or not, in the Yarra Valley.
Yes.
It was at Riverstone,
Yes.
and it was really nice. And this is how good Peter Lehmann is. I said to this lady at Riverstone, I said, there's only one cab sav I've tried that's better than that. And she said, Peter Lehmann's, wasn't it? I said, yep.
Wow. Are they still going?
Peter Lehmann's?
Peter
Yeah, he
Lehmann's,
passed away only maybe 12 months, 18 months to 2 years ago,
okay.
which was very sad.
Yeah.
But no, they are still going. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll leave a link to that in the show notes for all you
Yeah.
wine connoisseurs out there.
Yeah,
Who I'm
oh,
sure we might have
yeah.
we're getting a bit of a following, I think,
Yeah.
for which wineries everyone's enjoying in Australia.
And I've never tried Grange. I went to a restaurant one night and there was 2 empty bottles sitting on the table beside us, and I was very tempted to pinch them and fill them up with something else.
Out the cask, fill them out the cask and give them to the mates.
My older brother would do that.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, okay, well, thanks very much, Barney. It's been a pleasure.
worries, no
and I look
worries.
forward to scheduling a time where we can sit
Totally.
down and I'll have a beer, you can have a red wine.
As I said, I'm on a diet at the moment. I've just lost 9 kilos.
Oh, well
and
done.
I've got 2.5 to go, and then I can open my first bottle of red for about 3 months.
Oh. Well, maybe we should wait until then.
Yeah, no.
It'd be a good
I'm
celebration.
happy whenever. Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Appreciate it.
This next interview was like a magnet for me and many others at the Queensland Mining Expo. It was with the caretaker, I guess, the spokesperson for Holden's new $1 million concept car, a Holden Colorado. Holden have a push on at the moment to try and become one of the preferred suppliers on mine sites and construction for the 4-wheel drives that need to come out on site, people movers, as well as just driving around towing lighting plants and stuff. And as you'll hear, us miners are hard on the gear, so they had to put some grunt into this car. And my favourite, as you'll listen in to hear what my favourite part about the car was. I'm a Holden girl at heart. I have an SS Commodore myself, so this interview had to happen. And right at the end, I just about jumped out of my skin when Martin said yes to letting me sit in the car for a photo. And my lovely offsider videoed it for us, all the screens and all. And so be sure to head to the show notes so you can have a look at the video and more pictures of our time at the Queensland Mining Expo. Those show notes can be found at madmumzie.com/bonus1. That's the number 1. Special. First one. First of many, perhaps. Who knows who else is going to push in. So listen in as I chat to Martin about where this car has been around the world, why us miners need it, and also we even touch on Women's AFL Football League. Bring it on, Martin.
And here we are at the Yes, it's recording. That's Zoe's job. Make sure I push record. And the good thing is, I'm the editor.
That's it.
So if I mess up, too bad. And I podcast about mining, but I'm different. We have beers called Beers with a Miner podcast.
Yep.
So it's just out there.
I did work for BHP Iron Ore for 22 years, so
you did?
I've been in mining 24 years actually, all up. So.
Oh, cool. So what did you do? Operator or?
No. I was a manager for operations for light vehicles.
Oh,
so
okay.
looked after 1,850 odd bits of light vehicle out of Newman in Western Australia. So.
Yeah, they're hard on the gear, the miners, aren't they?
Very hard, and we got to know that fairly well with the manufacturing side of where I'm in now.
Yeah.
So,
And are you based in Mackay now?
No, based in Perth.
Perth, yep.
But my role with Holden, I've been with Holden for 7 months now, and Holden were looking for somebody to take over the mining and resource side of it, something that we haven't really got into before. So with my background in mining, my role is the National Mining and Resource Manager. So travel Australia, basically, talking to the mining fraternity, whether it be BHP, Rio Tinto's, or the Roy Hills, and all the other resource companies that go with it, like your drilling companies, and trying to get them to understand a fit-for-purpose tool of trade vehicle, in which Holden we do with our Colorado range. So fit-for-purpose tool of trade is like a ute, but we've also got the wagon as well, which is the Trailblazer. So same running gear. So if they want a personnel carrier, they can buy the Trailblazer. If they want a fit-for-purpose tool of trade vehicle, a utility, we've got the Colorado range as well. So we've got that in the cab chassis, and you can put a tray on the back, or we've got it in the ute style as well. So comes in an extra cab, single cab, and dual cab. So the variances are there: 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Models are also available. So it's.
And you know my favourite thing about it?
What's that?
The colour.
Yeah, it's a one-off. Let's
describe the colour.
This is a show truck.
Orange,
yeah, and it's a matte finish paint as well, and orange. So. But the car was designed and built in our Fisherman's Bend facility.
And whereabouts is that?
In Port Melbourne in Victoria.
Okay, yep.
So head office by our engineers. The car was purely built for the Bangkok show. So it went to Bangkok, one of the biggest automotive shows in the world, out of America. It left there and went to New Zealand, and for the automotive show in New Zealand. Came back to Australia 3 weeks ago, went to the State of Origin 3 and drove around the oval with State of Origin 3 and went on display and at half time, and now to here in Mackay. So Mackay being its first outing that people can get up close and personal with it. So and to show what we at Holden we're all about, and serious to go into the 4-wheel drive market with all the accessories as an accessory for Holden, not having to go to a second party to buy your 4-wheel drive accessories, I suppose. Yeah.
So are they mine spec? Like, are you looking to get them on the site?
We have got mine spec, and we've in our Colorado range at the moment. We've got for Rio and Allied in the Hunter Valley. We've got about 70 Colorados in there as a mine spec. BHP Iron Ore in Western Australia have got around about 40 to 50 cars as well. Colorado's running. A company called Lend-Lease, Boom Logistics, Fulton Hogan, a lot of resource companies that have also got Colorados. Probably with those companies combined, there's over 1,000. Yeah, they're all mine spec'd. Mm-hmm. So we've got quite a few out there already. So and hopefully more with our new model coming out, what we call MY17, Model Year 17, to be released mid next month. We hope to encapsulate the market even better, because there's a few more refinements with in the Apple CarPlay podcast. Yeah, it's the app's on there. So plug your phone in, And I tell you, it's great. It works unbelievable. You can you plug your phone in. What you see on your Apple phone, you see straight on the screen. And now, with messages, just come straight in, and SMS, you push back again, talk to it, it sends a message, so you don't have to touch your phone.
Fantastic.
So it's a good initiative, and we've got it in our lower version of the car called the Spark. We released 2 months ago.
Okay. Yep.
And purely and simply, it's a young girl's car. In retrospect, but with the Apple CarPlay in mind, that they don't have to talk on their phone, put their phone away, texting and driving, finished.
I'm sure there's plenty of young boys out there and who are doing that too.
Yeah, but they're in the
Mad
V8s.
Mumzie.
They're in the V8s, so not in the...
See, now I've got a V8,
Yeah.
Holden.
See, there you go.
Got to go
There you go.
Yeah. Just mix up the
Yeah,
gender stereotyping.
correct. Yeah.
And I love footy.
But we at Holden are changed a lot in respect that we're moving forward with all gender type cars. So it doesn't matter whether it's a small vehicle to a big vehicle. It's not gender driven in any way, shape or form. So but we're pretty excited. I mean, with the MY17 being released next month. Colorado and Trailblazer, that used to be called the Colorado 7, but we now call it, we've changed its name to Trailblazer.
Nice name.
And so and a few more refinements in that as a family car as well. So we've got the five-seater and the 7-seater in that. As I say, for mining fraternity as well, it becomes a people mover.
Yeah.
So with the 7-seater, and it's exactly the same running gear as our utility. So one-stop shop basically, same engines, same running gear, and the mining companies like that as well. So
yeah, definitely. And you said that this little orange beast behind us here has been overseas. Do you get to go with her? Are you her keeper?
No. Unfortunately, I'm not that high up the tree.
Did you put your hand out?
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, no. I only catch it every now and again, and this is my first time I've caught up with it to get it here to the QME. So, but all in all, it's not our only concept car that we've got.
Yeah.
But I've got it here as a showstopper to actually, show the people of Mackay and hopefully the mining fraternities that we, and also the four-wheel drive enthusiasts, that what we're holding are going. And as you can see, and the people have come through already, and it's just a wow factor. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good showstopper, but we've also got to drag them off it and show them our other car as well.
Come over here and look at the family.
Yeah,
car.
they go.
Tell me about this orange one over
Correct.
here.
It's like a magnet.
It's a beast.
It's like a magnet.
It is a magnet.
Correct. Yeah.
It is a beast.
Yeah. So so that's us basically.
Fantastic.
And myself.
So you didn't get to go to the State of Origin one either?
No, I'm an AFL person, not a not a rugby. So
and where are you from?
I'm originally born and raised in Melbourne, but moved to Perth.
Hold that against you.
Moved to Perth 28 years ago. So and into mining in 1988. So so I'm a Fremantle Docker supporter.
Yep.
And
a bit frustrating for you this year?
Well, not just this year. 24 years has been very frustrating. But one day. Yeah,
look,
my bottle load down the road. He likes me and barracking for the Dockers because I'm always going to visit him. So
drown your sorrow.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, look, it's not that we've got other people in other zone. We call them zone people in New South Wales and Brisbane, and I don't have to be everywhere. We've got other sales guys that go to the State of Origins and bits and pieces. Holden are a major sponsor to Collingwood Football Club. So fortunately or unfortunately, but
I nearly stopped the interview right there.
But we host football games over there, but what Holden have done now, they've actually the major sponsor to Collingwood is for the female football club to come through. So and to host that, so we've put Collingwood have put all the donations all the way through to the women's football. So
that's really
that'll be a really good thing, and to the younger kids coming through as well.
Yeah.
So
and that's something the AFL really does well.
Correct.
That's why it beats NRL in so
Look,
many things.
the eight teams that are coming through with the women's teams are going to be a great competition, absolutely superb competition.
Yeah.
So and to see it live on TV as well is going to be even better.
Are they going to have them as
pre-match games. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you get to see it before you go.
Correct.
There's a lot of times there's just nothing on.
No, it's just interclub or a young clubs or something like that playing sometimes, or a bit of entertainment. But they'll have the women's games before the main games. So women running around on the MCG will be great. And not only with the Collingwood with Holden written on them, but Fremantle have got a team as well. So it'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You mentioned your local bottle.
Yep.
Being that my podcast is called Beers with a Miner, and I actually sit down and have beers with people and interview them, whether they be on Skype or in person. And one of the questions I always ask is, what is your favourite beverage? It could be a beer, a wine, a spirit, or even a cup of tea. And what's your favourite place to enjoy it?
Basically, my favourite beverage is a Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
Spiced rum.
Oh, rum.
So
rum drinker,
rum drinker. So basically at home, it's just chill out at home. I live in a suburb called Allenbrook, and it's in the Swan Valley.
Yep.
So I have my house back of my house overlooks the hills, and sit there overnight time and with a spiced rum and away we go. So. Just a couple of calmers and cheer them dockers on, when I've got a voice after going to the game,
That's right. And another question that I've been asking also is, life can get tough for all of us, and with the mining downturn at the moment, a lot of people are struggling, and some people just are struggling living a mining lifestyle anyway. It's got a big part of what Mad Mumzie is all about, sharing all of that. How do you personally, Martin, renew yourself and refresh and keep yourself sane? What do you do to look after Martin?
Well, I lived in a small community called Newman in WA, 1,200 kilometres north of Perth, and my wife's a principal in a primary school, and we had 4 young kids and 4 older kids now, but as they're growing up. But we give to the community, and I was a level 2 AMBO officer, and my wife was a level 3. Basically she was a JP. I did a lot around the scouting community and scouts and just living in one of those communities. You've just got to get involved in the community. Otherwise, if you just sit at home and procrastinate from work, they change your shifts all the time, from even residential, whether it be 4 and 4. 8 and 5, 6 and 7, whatever the case may be. I think also that people talk about the downturn in mining, but it's not really a downturn. If you look at what I started in mining in 1988, and during my induction, they said at Mount Whale back in Newman, we've got 25 years of ore to dig out here. I left in 1996. Went back in 2001, and in 2001 they said we've got 25 years of ore to dig out of here. So the amount of the amount of ore and amount of coal, whether it be through the Bowen Basin, whether it be down at Hunter Valley, whether we're looking at uranium in South Australia, whether we're looking at it's an iron ore over in the Pilbara. The towns grew because of the expansions and the mining expansions, and so similar to Mackay, where they built a lot of infrastructure around that. Well, the expansion stopped, the project stopped, and all that money stopped because they've built the expansions, and now they're mining through there, so they don't need as many people. So, unfortunately, if the mines could have worked in with the communities a lot better and had camps, and then pulled the camps out so people come back to buy the housing through, and they didn't build as many houses, the towns would have survived. But I think the infrastructure just grew too quick through the expansion. BMA and coal through Peak Downs and Goonyella, they're still producing the same amount of ore and coal that they were 20 years ago, but they don't need as many people because there's driverless trucks, there's autonomous and autonomous trucks and autonomous crushing and the likes of. So computers and the likes of are taking a lot of that away from the human operator and need of humans, I suppose. So, yeah. But, yeah, look, it's it's just you got to fill your time in with, hopefully, either with your kids and sport, and if you haven't got kids, with community events, I suppose, and getting into the community. Yeah.
No, that's a really good thing, and it's something, like you say, even though we're working rosters away, many of us, you can still take some time when you are at home to do those sort of things, give back a little bit.
Yeah, look, even now I'm here for a week, and my eldest daughter, she's 20, doing a university degree, but I FaceTimed her last night, and we just had a yap on FaceTime, It's 10 minutes, but she knows I'm here, and I know she's there, and she's well, and she's working, and what she's doing, and my wife, she's busy, she's a school principal in WA, and I'll just have a quick yap to her, and we use FaceTime quite a bit as well, and the likes of, or just Facebook, and I'm not a major Facebook stalker or anything like that, but just put a couple of photos up and bits and pieces, and my kids can see, and my eldest is 30, but son, but he can see where I am and what I'm doing, and so and he'll just give me a text, give me a ring, old boy, and we'll have a talk on the phone. So when he wants to, so just keeping that that connection, I suppose. Yeah. And in this world with social media, it's can be anywhere. So yeah.
And the world of podcasting as well.
World of podcast, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'll have to whip out your phone while you're sitting here.
Yep.
And search for Beers with a Miner on your podcast app.
Yep.
Subscribe.
Yep.
Rate and review. You might want to listen to it first.
Yeah.
5 stars.
After it's been edited,
What did you drink? What was that?
Yeah. Cheers.
Dear. Now, of course, there's one question that I've really got to ask.
Yep.
Any chance of sitting in the car and having a photo?
Absolutely.
Oh, really? Oh my God! Sorry, get the camera.
But just don't stand on the side steps. So they're only facade. So you just
might have to give me a lift up.
Squirrel your bum in there, and you'll be right. You'll get in.
Awesome. Thank you. You get the video after this. I'll stop this and we'll record it.
So after our fun time with Martin in the Holden, my new car, we headed around the corner to the BMA simulator. They had a shipping container set up with a simulator in there, a truck simulator. My offsider had already had a go on a grader when we were interviewing Barney at the BMA site in the pavilion. Now we were outside. This is where the serious stuff was going on. This is where there was a fantastic fire truck that looked like it was straight out of a Mad Max movie. Am I showing my age? Perhaps. I don't know, but it was pretty funky. Again, check out the show notes for the photos of that. And next we headed to the simulator of a truck. It was a Caterpillar 793F truck, and my lovely offsider sat in there. She'd never, ever driven a truck, or she's heard all about them from me, but it's not until we get going. And this is something that it's worth listening to and watching the video. It's on the YouTube channel and it'll be in the show notes. But I have been to an interview where you actually had to jump in and have a shot on the simulator. So it gives you a bit of an idea what you might be up for. Like a tyre fire, how do you put it out, how do you call an emergency, and also realising just how big they are and that they are actually left-hand drive, so you need to drive well over on the left-hand side of the road. And yes, when you hit something, the seat moves. Anyway, I'll shut up now, listen in, and don't laugh too hard. But this is how it is, and for those that don't know, it gives a good opportunity to see what we have to go through, how you start up your truck, all sorts of things. So I hope you enjoy this.
Okay, so you've got your accelerator on the right, you've got your brake inside there, the big red one, call it an emergency brake, basically. So if you had no braking happening, you know, you'd be putting that big red one on. Okay. We've got a retarder brake here as well. You don't have to worry about that. Obviously, you know, your mum and myself would use that in our operations, but for your sake, you won't worry about that one. So, did you want to move forward a little bit? Do you feel all right height? So basically, if you just want to press that button in and you pull it down to drive, and you'll be able to take off for a bit of a drive there. Quite see where
So we're driving a truck.
So this one's set on the safety procedures, so we might have a safety incident happen automatically. So that's the main reason that we use this one on site, is that obviously you can't simulate a lot of emergency situations that happen. For example, a tyre fire, an engine fire, brake issues, things like that. Yep. So yeah, that's the main idea, is that we put people in a safe environment where they can learn the possible worst case scenarios. So there is an emergency, you can go wherever you want. So that's basically a bit of a... wrong side of the road. Yeah, so... See what I mean? So when you get that bit of a... they're much bigger than you ever think. We just said to a young man who was on here that it's like driving a house. I said, unless Dad's got a really big house, and then it's maybe small. So...
I did stop at this all the time.
Yeah, it can be quite finicky the way that it likes to do things. But yeah, this one's actually modelled on Dornier. I've never been to Dornier, so I can't tell you where you're going. You can pop up the map if you'd like. So, might give her a tyre fire. What do you think?
Definitely.
I'll go with it. So see over here, basically, this is basically something that we can show that could happen to you. So what you're going to do is you've got to stop the truck and you want to shut it down safely. So basically put this back to your park brake and you're going to switch it off. And just down here you've got a fire suppression, so if you just push that down, and then you're going to call up emergency.
Okay, cool.
So what we basically do is you want to let them know your name, the event that's happened, and the assistance that's required. So, you know, that's just so that they can get you as quick as possible, and you would get out of there as quick as you could then after that. Obviously your fire's been extinguished, which is beautiful, but that might not happen. So you've got extinguisher, it's basically in real life all on your decks as well, to basically take with you to make sure that if there is any fire you can hand extinguish them as well. So yeah, you can start it back up and have another drive if you like, or if you're happy. So
it makes you sort of dizzy.
Yeah, it does. So one word,
Just click it once,
just let it do its self-check.
And then there's another one for a grader and you sit in a seat.
And just, you'll be able to turn your key and hold it on
B438.
until it starts. And with the big ones, it takes forever.
And you think it's not going to start.
So you're all good there. So basically you can do 2 beeps because you're going to go forward again. And just flick it down to drive. And off you go.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's just saying on the screen there that you've left without doing a brake test. So basically we always do a brake test. For the sake of this, I'm not going to make you do a brake test. But there you go, it's happened again. So you want to stop it? Shut it down. Push it in. Pick up your radio and give me a yell. Just go black one and then
Emergency.
3 times.
Fire. Emergency. Fire. Emergency.
Get me out of here.
Awesome.
that's exactly,
That's pretty cool, hey?
So that's what we, and it'll
Just stay there for a sec, so a lot of times now they're using these in interviews, aren't they? As part the simulator, as part of your interview process.
We didn't actually. I was a new to industry operator, so I came on board in about October 3 years ago with BMA, and they trained. My team is basically nearly a third females. And
Go the girl.
So
they didn't use this particular simulator, but they did do a lot of other testing, which revolved around psych testing, situational awareness, things like that they did use, not this particular one. Okay. I do understand that they have been. This one for us has more been a training of emergency situations. We did use it at our family day just recently as well at Cavill Ridge, which was absolutely wonderful because it meant that family and friends could come along and they could experience what it's like, I guess, just in the yourself. You sort of had a bit of an idea of what mum does every day.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a bit of fun, and it's a wonderful asset to our team and our environment. When there's wet weather and things and we can't operate, we can obviously re-familiarise on our emergency procedures, making sure everyone feels comfortable. But I think it happened in real life that they knew what to do.
Yeah, that's what I find it best for, is practicing emergencies. Because there's what other different setups can you put in?
I can do a lot of different things. I can crack the screen, for example, which is obviously only a minor one. I can do a loss of control, like traction. The only thing with that one, in my opinion, is it doesn't feel real. When you lose control of a truck from wet weather, obviously, and with practice you learn how to sort of control the truck, I guess. This doesn't feel real to that. There's a real feeling in the truck that the back of your truck, you don't have any control of that. Obviously with this, you're just on a seat, they can't give you the sway.
Yeah. You just know the steering isn't really
tyre fires, engine fires, brake failures, steering failures, windscreen cracks. So there's lots of different things. Inclement weather, snow, all those sorts of things.
And you also normally, if you were going through, you'd do a whole cycle. You'd go down to a dig unit,
so this
get loaded, go up to a dump.
So this one I've just got set currently on the emergency procedures, just to give people a bit of an idea. The process, obviously, to do a load and dump on this can be quite long. We do assess on that, obviously, but depending on how many people we have around here, rather than, because it can take 40 minutes, for example, and if there are a lot of people here today who wanted to have a go, we don't want to delay with that. I did have a young boy, there was no one here, and he did manage to get loaded by the shovel and dump it off and then parked it up. So
that's cool.
So it's definitely gives you an idea of the real thing, and you know, they're loving the scenery here, as you can see.
Oh yeah, and that looks pretty real, doesn't it? That's what it's like.
It is. I said there's no sunrise or sunsets here though, which is really
right, yeah, because that is the best bit, isn't it? Oh, that's awesome. Thanks so much.
Our final interview for the day is with Michelle from Redfox in Mackay, a local family-owned company actually right across the road from the showgrounds, but they are doing good things in our mining industry as well as for all of us around the area. They also have drones, and we have a good discussion about their drones and what they are implementing them for on mine sites, and it's a way of new technology. There's drones floating around and they're being used for all sorts of things, as we discussed with Michelle in this interview. There was someone yakking on in the background. I think she was from somewhere special, like maybe the government, so I couldn't tell her to shut up. But I hope you can hear through her. We had a really good chat, and I'm pretty sure Michelle will end up coming back onto the Beers with a Miner podcast, as their business does a lot, but she also has a pretty good personal journey, I'm guessing. So I'd like to delve in a little bit deeper than that. As you'll hear as we wrapped up the interview, some very special people came over to their exhibition site. So we wrapped it up and I said, you go and talk to them, they look much more important than me. They were, I believe, the federal mining minister and his entourage. So we were out of there. It was time to go and have a beer, have a counter lunch, and wrap up a fantastic day at the Mining Expo. Take it away, Michelle.
Solutions. What we're focusing on at the QME this year is the application of commercial drones to the mining industry, and also the building of private links out to remote areas. We've just most recently completed a private link out to Holden, which is just going really well. Our client is very happy, and we often like to find a challenge and find a solution to that challenge.
So by private link, do you mean a Wi-Fi?
Yeah, internet. So taking internet, wherever a client needs it. So a private internet service. Because anyone that works out in the mines knows how terrible communications can be out there most of the time. So by having their own private link, they're guaranteed speed, reliability, and enough bandwidth to cater for everyone that needs to use it, to give their company the edge in order for them to do business efficiently.
That's right. Yeah, I guess, and also as a mine worker, when everyone comes home,
no one can get on.
No one can get on. My partner is an underground miner. He calls himself the real miner. We're just getting all the prep work ready for them, and he calls us gravellies.
Oh, right. Yep.
So he'll be sitting there in our donger and he'll be trying to play his, what does he play? Simpsons game or something, really.
Something really crap like that.
And you go, oh, the bloody gravellies are taking all the internet away.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's
pretty common though, pretty common.
So it is a big issue.
It is, it is. So, and often it's hard to find a commercial justification for some of those businesses to put it in, because whilst it's great for the workers, they're like, well, what other benefit can the business use it for, to justify that expense?
How can that help our bottom line?
Yes.
The bottom line is the people who
but you do have to keep
their families.
Exactly. You want to keep your workers happy.
Yeah.
So, especially when they're in that sort of environment for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
Simple things like good comms go a long way.
Exactly. And FaceTime and Skype, sometimes that's the only way that you can connect.
Yeah, that's right.
Connect that way. And it's good that technology is out there that we can do that.
Yeah.
Like the podcasting.
Yes.
Have you heard of podcasting?
I have heard of podcasting.
Do you listen to podcasts?
No, I have to say.
That's okay.
It's my mission. Podcasting.
All right. Well, we will put a push on our Facebook page about podcasting.
Yes.
See if we can get some people taking it up, and I will be one of the people doing that.
Oh, fantastic. And tell them to search for Beers with a Miner podcast.
All right.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
Yep.
5 stars would be good. If they want to give me a button, don't bother. But be honest, that's Mad Mumzie. Yeah, so I talk about the struggles and what it's really like living a mining lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not only the struggles, obviously, there's plenty of good bits. Plenty of people love doing the FIFO lifestyle. Even though they're not getting on the plane and flying away, it still comes under the umbrella of FIFO for a lot of things. And a lot of people are blogging about it, have written books, have Facebook groups and things, but no one's podcasting about it.
Because it's a lifestyle that requires a lot of adjustment.
It does.
It's not something you can just jump into and think that life will just continue the way it always has.
Yeah. A lot of people think, I'll get a dream job in the mines, that'll fix everything.
No.
It's not like that.
No.
And I guess another reason we popped down to see you is about the drones.
Yes.
Because they're huge. I know a few sites out in the Bowen Basin have got drones flying around and freaking a few people out. Big fly in the sky. And
I think it's odd.
People smoking on site, phones on site, so the traditional use of drones has always been for photography or videography. We're looking at how drones can help in other ways. Some of the drones, or the one that we're showcasing, is called the Olbris, and one of the capabilities of this particular drone is a thermal imaging camera that it has on it. Now, what does that actually mean and how can it help?
That was my next question.
Read your mind.
Yeah.
So haul truck tyres on the mine site, as you know, they can be a real problem when they reach a certain temperature. They have to be taken out of production, they have to be quarantined, and often a human can't approach that truck until a certain amount of time has passed.
Yeah, they have exclusions of
1,000
metres.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So we was, sorry to interrupt, we just went to the simulator, which we actually, at work, we've always called it a stimulator. So we was in the stimulator. She had to go on the greater one, and then she was in the truck, and they did a tyre fire simulation.
Okay.
So if they get too hot, like they catch fire.
They do.
So it's serious. You need to know when they're heating up.
Yeah, and they're contended to a really big explosive device, which has pretty much got the same potential of a bomb.
Exactly.
And can kill people, and has killed people. So obviously a big focus of the mines is to make sure their workers are safe, but also they like to get their trucks back into production as quickly as possible. So we thought by using this particular type of drone and its thermal technology that we could fly these drones in quickly instead of waiting for the standard quarantine period for whatever that mine site policy adopts, and it can actually get in there and it'll accurately read that temperature.
Oh, so checking out a hot one.
Yeah.
Just how hot is it without... Yeah,
Because like it's 24 hours right. Each tire will have reached that limit for a different reason, more than likely, or they all cool down differently. So at least you can get in there quicker, so you can assess it for what the safe temperature is going to be. Get back in there, do whatever needs to happen, get it back into production, and know that your workers are safe because they're not having to go near it. And that's something that can be done continually. Until you've been able to ascertain that yes, the truck is ready to go back to production. So that's one application. Like there's many, but that is the one that we have showcased and done a demonstration on. So.
Fantastic. So do you have other drones out in the mines? Or mainly you're just focusing on the thermal imaging?
Because I think people underestimate the application of the technology that the drones actually have. They don't realise how much more they can be used. This is even in, and I know it's not mine. I'll use a mining example. They can be used to measure stockpile movements. Some of them have got extremely high definition, so they can see a hair follicle from 6 metres up in the air sort of definition. And the software capabilities that come behind it can provide really meaningful, useful information for people who have to run sites like that. So they know everything that's going on in terms of... instead of having to weigh things all the time or go in and physically check and fill in logs, they have this drone that can just do all that, come back, upload the information, and you know exactly where you stand.
Because I know there's plenty of times, because I drive the trucks, so there's plenty of times when we'll go to the dump and survey will come in, we'll have to stop, wait for the survey dude to do a pick-up, drives up and down with his little laptop doing his thing, and then off he goes. But that's downtime because we're all sitting there lined up, we're not dumping, going back anymore. So if they got drones that are doing those sort of things.
And you can already preset the flight plans, and some of them are completely autonomous, so you don't actually have to fly them. They'll fly themselves, and they'll come back and they'll land nicely, and you look like a real pro, even though you're not actually doing anything.
Like my robot vacuum cleaner.
Best friend. Look how clean my floor is. Oh yeah. Certainly.
Has yours got a name?
No, it doesn't. It's Robbie.
You know when I first got it, I wouldn't say how I had coffee, but I actually had beer and walked around and watched it. Do you watch it?
When we first got it, we sat on the lounge and we just watched it do the whole thing, and my husband was trying to pick out, it's missed that, and then it'd come back and get it, and they were like, aha, see? And I hate to think how much time we wasted watching it. So.
But it saves you time. It doesn't save you time, it just saves you the energy of actually having to do it.
But no, it's good. It's all about technology making our lives easier and safer.
That's why I just need a robot now to get the mould off the wall.
That would be lovely. And clean the bathrooms.
All the hang out the washing, that'd be a nice one. Look at me.
Okay, well, being the Beers with the Miner podcast, I always ask my guests, what is your favourite beverage? It could be a beer, a wine, a spirit, a cup of tea, and what is your favourite taste?
Okay, so I enjoy having if I'm in a festive mood, rum and Coke Zero is my go-to drink.
Oh, with ice?
Oh yeah.
Lots of ice or a bit?
Probably half glass, half glass. Yeah.
And when you finish, do you keep that ice, or do you get new ice?
No, I keep that ice.
Really, I drink beer.
Yeah.
But I've seen people who are like, no, don't throw that ice out.
Oh, my husband dumps the ice and gets new ice every time.
So why do you keep the ice?
It's got the rum in it. It's wasted. Like,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Flavour going on.
Yeah, it's a concoction.
Oh,
A good one.
yeah.
And then my nice calm drink is I always enjoy my granny cup of tea in the evenings, curled up on the lounge with a blanket, watching Netflix. Happens to be Orange is the New Black lately. So.
Yeah, I just started watching that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch Wentworth?
No.
Oh, what?
If you like Orange is the New Black.
You got to see Wentworth.
All right, I'll put it on my list.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question is, a big part of what Mad Mumzie does is trying to help people develop their own strategies of how do you, at least to acknowledge what do you do that makes you feel good, so when you do feel yourself sinking to the bottom, you know you can get back out.
Yeah.
And what sort of things do you do to look after you and recharge, Michelle?
One of the main things is often when things are going not so good, is I always remind myself, no matter what, things will get better, no matter what. And I think it's important to remember that. And even though you're going through a bad period, there will be a good period. There will be, and it's coming. So you just got to be patient. So that's one thing I do. The other thing I do is we have a bit of a property, and I just spend a lot of time outside and with that, we've got some cows and chickens and dogs, and I just spend time with nature. That sounds kind of daggy, but it's good. It gives me some fresh perspective, I guess, and allows me to sort of think about things clearer. That's what I like to do. Live your life. I know, be present in the moment of your life.
All right. Awesome. Now, you said a bit of a property. I've heard people say that when they've got half an acre. Some people got 200 acres and they say they've got a bit of a property.
No, I'm in the lesser. I'm in 2.5.
2.5. Oh, that's
it's nice. It's manageable.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my little slice of paradise.
Looks like you got some property.
All right. Yeah.
A bit more important as Mad Mumzie.
We topped off a great day. We went to the Austral Hotel, a favourite among many miners when they come to Mackay. Right in the heart of Mackay there, the Austral. We had a great lunch and a beer. And to be honest, I was done talking, but I had a great day. Started spreading the podcasting word as well as my own podcast, Beers with a Miner, and made some great connections, and who knows what's coming from all of that. The Mining Expo was fantastic. Reed Mining Events put on a fantastic show. Everyone seemed really happy, and it was a great buzz, and it was really good to see there weren't just people there trying to flog off their stuff, which clearly they were, and there were heaps of freebies, lots of freebies, hats and stubby coolers and USBs and highlighters and books and brochures, and we were in our element, and we needed a crane to take our freebies home, and we weren't even trying. That wasn't why we went there, clearly. But what I really enjoyed seeing was that there were people actually having meetings. You could see there were plenty of stalls we just didn't even go near because everyone was busy, everyone was talking, and they had set up special booths where you could book a room for a meeting. So obviously they were behind closed doors, private. And when we did go over and have our beer at the bar, well, it is Beers with a Miner, right? So we had to go and leave some brochures there. That was our excuse. And we did wait till after 12. And lots of talking makes you want to have a beer. So anyway, I noticed there were a lot of people sitting down and introducing each other and having full-on meetings. So I guess that's the business world for you. Mad Mumzie isn't usually in that department, but it was a good taste and I loved it. And I would love to be in Sydney for the next big, massive one. Check out that in the show notes as well. Anyway, I'll let you go now. This is This has been a bit of a mission to put together, and hopefully I get it out on time. The show notes will be available for you at madmumzie.com/bonus1. That's the number 1. And Mad Mumzie with a Z or a Z, depending where you're from. I'd love you to please leave a rating and review on iTunes so more people can hear about the Beers with a Miner podcast. Head to madmumzie.com/iTunes to find the subscribe link. And please share with your mates. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you and all of your reviews that are coming in. It's fantastic. It helps to get the word out there. So keep up the heat, peeps. Until next week, stay safe, be real, be special and have fun. For we only live once. Cheers.